You're most welcome to ask me any question. Yes, please.
Master, this is a question that at least two of us have. 3 times this morning you mentioned mental depression. Could you please...
I mentioned what?
Mental depression. Could you please speak about that a little?
I said that is the worst disease one can ever face. Mental depression. When you have too much, even then you get mental depression. When you have nothing, even then you have mental depression. And that is the worst disease. Even the Lord has showered everything on you. You are always worried He may not take it away from you. And you are always worrying and thinking about that. So when you are always 24 hours worrying about that, what those things you possess can give you any happiness or any peace of mind at all? And mental depression is the worst disease. Are you facing that?
Yes.
Yes, anything else?
No, thank you, Master.
Master?
Yes, please.
In response to stories that I have heard you talk about where people have died, you have said just forget about them.
People who?
People who have died, stories that have been told to you about people who have died, you have said just forget about them. And my question is, do you think it is necessary for there to be a grieving period for people to lose their attachment to a loved one?
I'm not following your question.
My question is, do you think there should be a grieving period after someone has died?
There should be grieved ceremony?
A grieving period, a time when people grieve or bereave for someone who they have lost.
These are the traditions of your family and traditions of your religion and tradition of your community. What have Sant much to do with these things? You do whatever you're supposed to do. We have not stopped going from the worldly formalities to anyone. I just said those people who have been departed, our worrying about them is not going to solve any problem. They are not going to come back to console us. So it's better to forget them now. We must face facts as it comes.
Thank you.
Master?
Yes.
We come here to India and we see a lot of poverty and suffering. How can we as satsangis help people like this? What should we do? Should we give to them, or how should we behave towards them? You know, the poverty we're seeing, the people begging in it.
Well, brother, it's not a poverty only in India, it's a poverty all over the world. The thing is, some people have too much, they don't know what to do with it. Other people have too little. They can hardly exist on that. So there is some defect in distribution in this world.
Master, in satsang 2 days ago, you said that self-realization is essential before God realization. I was under the impression that it was one and the same thing. Please, could you explain it?
Yes, sister, there's a little difference. Self-realization is when you are able to go beyond the realm of mind and maya. When all the coverings from the soul are removed, when it leaves the association of the mind, that is self-realization. When it merges back into the Father, that is God realization. I often give an example that water in the cloud is so pure, but when it becomes rain, merges into the dirt, it becomes so dirty, it stagnates, it gives a foul smell. So that water starts thinking perhaps it's a part and parcel of this dirt. But when the heat is, you see, when there is a heat, sun rises, and there is a heat, that very water evaporates, leaves that dirt, then it realizes that dirt is something else and I am something else. That is self-realization. And then it thinks, what is my origin? Clouds in the sky. So it goes and merges back into the clouds. That is God realization.
Thank you. I have another question,
Please.
which comes out from the question before. In Sweden, where I live, there are no poor people. So there are no poor people.
Yes.
So if one wants to give charity, you have to give it to a foreign country, and then you're never sure if the money is used to buy food for the people, in which case your money might be used to buy meat. So I have a conflict about giving in charity in Sweden.
You are right, sister. You see, some people's charitable tendency is misused by certain institutions, certain countries. It's really pity.
So how can we give in charity then? Can we send the money to the Dera?
But we only spend on their activities, I'm sorry to say. We don't go, our trust rules are such, we cannot spend on anything else except on the Dera activities. We have certain principles on which we have made a trust, and no money can be spent outside those rules. They are all for the propagation of Sant Mat's teachings, looking after the langar, running the hospital, and all allied expenses concerning the publishing of the books, subsidizing those books.
But then it would be all right to send money for those purposes.
That is entirely for you to think about it.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Master. What effect does our attempt at meditation have on our day-to-day life?
What type of?
What effect does our attempt at meditation have on our day-to-day life?
Effect of meditation on our day-to-day life?
Yes.
You see, by attending to meditation, brother, we built a certain atmosphere in which we want to live. And that atmosphere gives us bliss and peace and happiness. And that helps us not to lose our balance in our daily activities. Meditation is not just closing yourself in a room and attending to your sound and light for a couple of hours and then forget about everything when you come and meet the world. Meditation is a way of life. It should reflect in our daily activity. It should reflect at every step. That is meditation. That is the effect of meditation in our dealing with the masses, in our dealing with the people. As a father, as a mother, as a sister, as a brother, as a citizen. It must reflect in our every activity. That is the effect of meditation.
Excuse me. Great Master said that every event, whether great or small, is predestined. So the meditation we do doesn't really change our life, really.
Meditation is a?
It doesn't change our life in any way.
Certainly not. Meditation never changes the events of our life. Our destination is destined, which we have to go through. Whether you meditate or you do not meditate, it will not make any difference to your destination. But definitely meditation prepares you to go through those events of life cheerfully without losing your balance. It arms you to face those events of life.
Thank you.
Master, I'm over here.
Yes, please.
I'm over here to your left.
Yes, yes.
This morning, I believe I heard you say, a rolling stone gathers no moss. And I'm wondering if you could explain that to me.
Well, sister, I was explaining Swamiji's teaching that when you attend to your meditation, you should be one-pointed to Shabad. You shouldn't try to do everything which one tells you in order to make your mind pure. People do, they go to temples, they go to churches, they go to mosques, and they read the books also, and they worship this and worship that and worship that, and also sit in meditation for half an hour. That is the rolling stone which will gather no moss. We should be just one-pointed to Shabad. Unless we have that much faith, we do not make much progress at all. If we think whatever the method, school of thoughts will be okay, I don't want to take any risks, so I like to do everything, then you will not achieve anything at all. So you must be one pointed to the Shabad. Then forget everything else. That's
Thank
what
you.
Swamiji was trying to explain.
I have one more question. The word Sharan, Sharan,
Yes, yes.
could you tell us a little bit about what that word means?
Sharan means unconditional surrender. That is taking Sharan. And you can only unconditionally surrender something which belongs to you, which doesn't belong to you. How can you surrender that? We have to surrender our mind. Say to the Lord, say to the Master, say to the Shabad, it comes to the same thing. But how can we surrender when we are being dominated by the mind? When mind is not under our control, how can we surrender it? When we are able to surrender our mind, then only we take the Sharan of a Guru. Means when we attach our mind and go beyond the realm of mind and Maya, then we have surrendered our mind to the Shabad. It merges into the Shabad back. It becomes pure. It becomes your best friend. As long as mind is pulling you toward the senses, you cannot find a worse enemy than this. When you are able to withdraw back your consciousness to the eye center and is attached to the Shabad and Naam within, its tendency becomes inward and upward. You cannot find a better friend. So you have to win its friendship from enmity. So when you are able to win its friendship, it comes back to its own source. Then you are able to get your soul released from the clutches of mind. Your soul automatically surrenders to the Shabad. It merges back into the Shabad. That is the real surrender of the soul.
Thank you, Master.
Master, I'm here. At satsang, he told me that he doesn't believe in the path anymore. He has given up with his meditation and he has started to eat animal food. How can I help him?
He doesn't believe in what?
In the path anymore.
Yes.
And he has given up with his meditation
Yes.
and he has started to eat animal food.
Yes.
How can I help him?
How can you help him?
Yes.
Well, with love and affection, try to explain him that he is being led astray. If you have no control over him, he doesn't listen to your advice, leave it on the Lord. Let him deal with him. Don't try to show off that he may become so conscious of his weakness that even he even doesn't come to attend the meeting, even doesn't mix with the satsangis, and he's becoming very guilty conscious, you see. Try to help him. Everybody has one's own ways and means to approach the person.
Thank you.
Master, can you tell me anything further to help me with sustaining a dhyan and meditation? So, to keep it sustained?
Well, sister, continue. That's the only way.
Thank
It's a
you.
constant struggle, and we have to continue every day.
Thank you.
Maharaji,
Yes, please.
Sant literature states that whenever saints had any spare moments, they would spend that in meditation. Nowhere does it state that any of these evolved souls had any hobbies. Nowhere does it state that any of these saints had any such things like hobbies, like painting or music or pottery.
I don't think there is any harm in such innocent hobbies. See, your mind also needs relaxation. Your body also needs relaxation. So you can attend to meditation much better way.
Okay, thank you.
There are so many needs of the mind and the body. It has to be satisfied in many ways. But don't forget the main purpose of your life. That pivot should be before you, the destination should be before you, always. Yes, please.
You have told us many times that love is to lose our own identity and become another being. My question is, will regular daily meditation bring about that transformation automatically?
That's right. That is right. That is the purpose of meditation.
Radhaswami Maharaji. Maharaji, many of your disciples are artists and musicians and various other forms. And there is a tradition in the past where arts were used as a form of discipline to bring one closer to contemplation, discipline, and as a prelude to meditation, and then also as a way of sharing experiences with people. Many of your disciples would like to, in some way, dedicate their art forms and their work to you. Is there a way that it can be useful or helpful?
Sister, I've not followed your problem.
In the past, artists used their work to bring them closer to the Lord. Okay, in contemporary times, you use photography, and you use photography and use Shabbat singers. Those are a holy form of an art form, music and visual art.
How do you bring the people to Santmat?
Is there any, how do you? You're the one that does that.
Hmm?
You're the one that brings the people to Santmat. How can the artists help or do something that will bring themselves closer to you?
Just attend to your meditation.
But how, if you're using the art, then the other thing is then how do the artists...
We should become a practical example before others. That will influence people much more than all our persuasion, all our teachings, all our lectures. To be a model before them.
And then what about the art, using the art for work? Many artists find it difficulty actually making a living from the work, or they have easy temperaments and they're exploited or taken advantage of by business people.
No, you can use your art for your living.
Yes.
But why bring Santmat in it?
Well, there's two aspects.
Why to mix Santmat with your art? That is your job, that is your profession.
But then how do we, all of us then, how do we use our professions to bring us closer to you?
That is something different. To come to closer to the master is meditation. And this using of the art is for your living. Why do you want to mix both?
But isn't it all the same? It's all Shabbat, Maharaji, and we have to integrate both our work and our meditation.
You see,
What's
you
the
can't
best?
sell Santmat.
What?
Art you will be selling for your living. You can't sell Santmat to people.
Of course.
Then? So you have to keep it apart.
You have to keep it apart. Okay, thank you, Maharaji.
Yes.
Maharaji, again on the subject of helping. Sorry, beg your pardon, may I just move it a little bit so I can see you better? My request is, would you please advise on how best to differentiate and draw a line between the need to help others and the need for one's own improvement, trying to be aware of our first priority at any given moment?
Sister, everybody has one's own temperament, own background. And everybody has to make one's own decision where to draw a line. There is no do's and don'ts which can help you to draw a line. You have to ask your own conscience where a line can be drawn, that you cannot step forward, that you will not let anybody to step forward. It is for you to decide. Nobody can guide you in that.
I see. Thank you. Thank you, Maharaji.
Maharaji, I'm over here.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. When we meditate, the sound current comes into play, and when we're concentrating on our Simran, sometimes the sound is strong. So, is there a time when we eventually just listen to the sound?
I'm not following your question.
When we start meditating, the sound comes into
Sister, with the help of concentration, the sound will become distinct and clearer and pulling. All other sounds will just fade out. Only that sound which is pulling and distinct and clear will stand.
Thank you.
Maharaji, to your left.
Yes, please.
Did you suggest that each time we give a satsang, it would be well to put in something about meditation?
What is the purpose of satsang? If we don't talk about meditation, we don't gossip there. The purpose is that we have to create that atmosphere in a satsang that we feel like meditating. We want to devote our time to meditation. We feel the urge to attend to meditation. That is the purpose of satsang. What is the purpose of satsang? To create that atmosphere in which we feel the pull for meditation.
Thank you.
Master, I was going to ask for an interview to ask this question, but hearing your announcement, I think that perhaps I should ask you now and save your time, if the Sangha will forgive a bit of a personal question. I've been initiated for 14 years, and this trip is the first time, I'm sorry, this trip is the first time I have seen you.
Please, please, please don't be emotional. Just calm yourself.
I find that everything I have heard about you is very true, but that I still have no response of love. And this confuses me. Could you explain?
I don't know what I have to explain. You are trying to explain something which I'm trying to understand. I don't know what I have to explain.
I would like to know why I have been meditating for 14 years and I finally see you and I feel no love for you.
Why do you analyze? There are no tears in the eyes without love. Or can we shed tears without love? I don't know what is our concept of love. Or what is our depth of love. How to measure that love. No tear comes, eye doesn't moisten without love.
Thank you.
Maharaji, back here. This morning, I heard two things during the satsang, and I wonder if you remember, if you would elaborate on that briefly. One was you said something about, I heard firing squad.
Don't worry, there's no danger of that here. I was just talking, you see, that praise of the people. Sometimes they put you on the elephant and they take you in processions, and then people are praising them and all that, and the next time they put them before the firing squad. And we are just lost in illusion, you see, in their praises and in their psychophancies.
And the other question is, you mentioned something about auto rickshaw or taxi.
Or?
Auto rickshaw or taxi cab.
Auto rickshaw, I don't think I remember.
No?
I don't think I use that word. In future I'll be cautious using the English words.
Acha. Okay, my last question, Maharaji, is in the West, there are many groups nowadays that have the philosophy that we create our own reality. I've spoken to many satsangis who believe that our path is exactly the opposite, that this is a path of destiny. I'm wondering if with our limited free will, our conditioned free will, as we make choices and decisions moment to moment, in a sense we're creating in this life and in the future life, we are weaving the fabric of our existence, of our reality. So in a sense, wouldn't you say that with our limited free will, that in a sense we are partially creating our own reality?
I don't know what you're trying to explain.
I'm wondering if...
I said previous day, there may be many school of thoughts in helping us to withdraw our attention to the eye center. But from here onward, for our spiritual journey, there's only one way of sound and light. There's no other way which can lead us back to the Father. Christ says the same thing, Nanak says the same thing, all other mystics say the same thing.
Just to elaborate one more bit, with our limited and conditioned free will, as we in our daily life make our decisions and make our choices, are we not in a sense partially creating our reality for this life and for lives to come in the future by virtue of the decisions we make on a moment-to-moment basis with our limited free will?
Well, brother, what you call as a free will, I call it a conditioned will, limited will, because your mind already have been conditioned to think like that. You have been brought up in that way to think like that. So you are not free to think like that. Your mind has always been, conditioned right from your birth, right from your childhood. You have been trained to think like that. So how can you call that you have a free will to think like that? Christ said, even the hair on the body are numbered. Hey, what is immaterial whether you have 100 hair less or more on the body. But he says even they are numbered. Guru Nanak says even the leaf doesn't move without his order. From the higher scale, there's absolutely no free will at all. Our birth is not in our hand. The environment in which we take birth is not in our hand. Our brothers and sisters are not in our hand. Our parents are not in our hand. Our country is not in our hand. Our schooling is not in our hand. Our childhood friendships are not in our hand. And they go all the way to condition our mind to act and think in that particular way. And then we start acting and thinking, we think we are free. And we forget all that, the background.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Saints talk from the higher plane.
Thank you.
Master, in Liberation of the Soul,
yes,
it says, a master will always be a master. A slave will always be a slave. A master will never become a slave. A slave will never become a master.
Where it is written?
In Liberation of the Soul. And my question is, what about us?
I don't know in what way, in what reference it has been written, you see. We are all slaves. And we all want to become the master. We are slaves as long as we are under the sway of the mind. Soul is a slave as long as it is dominated by the mind. So our karmas are our master and we are the slave. And Christ said that the slave has to shift from body to body, from flesh to flesh, as ordered by the master, ordered by the karmas. And we can liberate ourselves if we are put in touch with the Shabad and Naam within. And then we become the master in this very body. Then we are no more slave. So slave can become master. And master is already a master. Whatever he has written must be in reference to certain thing, and you just can't pick up a sentence and explain it, you see.
Well, the fact is that when I first was initiated, I thought I would ever become a master. But the longer I am initiated, the more I believe I will ever be a slave.
Sister, potentially everybody is a god. Everybody has to become the god. One who comes to the path, ultimately he will become God. Christ said, "O ye gods." Somebody said to him, "You are God." He said, "Why call me? Ye are all gods. Everybody is a god. Potentially every soul is a god. There is a drop of the same divine ocean. And we have all to become God. Becoming one with the ocean. Why remain slave?
Because of the mind.
Yes, as long as the mind is active and dominates, we are slave.
Thank you.
Master?
Yes.
Over here, on your right.
Yes, my right.
It is said that thought is more powerful than words.
Then?
Than word, thought is more powerful than speaking words. And that negative thought can make us unhappy in our lives. And I'm wondering if you can tell me some advice about keeping a positive attitude in our daily
Sister,
lives.
any thought, if we are obsessed with those thoughts, slowly and slowly they make a groove on our mind. They go on making a hole in our mind. Deep impression on our mind. They become very strong desires. We get possessed with those desires. And then those desires pull us back to this level of creation.
Can you tell me about the effect of positive thinking, how to generate that?
Well, sister, positive thinking is the only ways to attend to meditation. When our thinking is always upward and inward, our thinking becomes positive. When mind is positive, thinking becomes positive. When mind is negative, thinking becomes negative.
I have one more question. I am a seeker and I'm very pulled to the path, and it's a very internal thing. And being here, it's confusing to see you in your physical form. And I'm wondering how to integrate the physical master into that internal growing love I have.
Sister, I can only give one advice to a seeker: make a thorough research. Don't jump into Santmat, eyes closed. Read all the available books. Attend meetings. Whatever questions you have, write without any hesitation. Satisfy your intellect. You are not wasting your time. You are building on the rock. No one will be able to shake you. Don't come to the path with your questions in your mind still unsolved. Satisfy yourself from every angle. Don't rush for it. Don't be influenced by other people's emotions or other people's company. Make your independent judgment.
is it necessary to be absolutely certain of the physical master as God before seeking initiation?
Well, I have just given you the advice, try to follow it.
Thank you.
Yes.
I work in a research laboratory, and there's a lot of killing and death, and I'm surrounded by the people who do the killing every day. And I'm wondering if it would be better for a satsangi to try to find other employment.
What type of killing, sister?
Well, after the animals have had the research completed, they kill them in various methods.
If you ask me that there will be no karmas, karma will be there. We can't avoid karmas. Even the insect that we kill, we don't avoid karmas at all. But it's a question of only degree of punishment. If our intention is good for some experiment, for some betterment of the humanity, that is a different thing. But still karmas are there. Load may not be so heavy, but you can't say that you are not collecting karmas. You definitely collect karmas.
If the intention is just financial, would that be heavy karma?
Well, karmas are there. To what extent, whether it's the light or heavy, that he knows best. But we can't say that we don't commit any karmas. Karmas are there. Even the insects we kill, when we walk, we collect karmas. We breathe, we collect karmas. We eat, we collect karmas.
So the people who work for an established employer, are they collectively taking on those karmas of the employer?
Well, now you can analyze accordingly. I have told you the teaching.
Thank you.
Master, if we're meditating well, will we lose consciousness of ourselves? Will we go into a different state of consciousness where we're not aware of ourselves?
You mean when you go within, you will lose your consciousness or?
Yes.
Well, you will be on that level of your consciousness. You'll be aware of yourself.
It'll just be on a higher level.
There's no danger of forgetting yourself.
I wouldn't mind. Master, sometimes when I'm meditating, I know that I have fallen asleep and I wake up. Other times, I feel that I've gone someplace and I don't feel that I was really asleep, but there were like dreams. Is that a part of meditation? Or
well, sister, enjoy your sleep, and then when you get up again, tend to meditation.
Thank you.